You do it better.
Hello and welcome to Flappity Flap Podcast. This is your hosts, Brandon and Sarah.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
So we thought it would be fun to talk about, since the Olympics are happening. How long? I don't even know how long they go for. I just keep thinking they're going to be done. And then it's like, oh, highlights from today or... yeah.
What?
On YouTube. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
How rude.
What, me?
Yeah, not knowing
I was
exactly
just
what I'm talking about.
I don't think I've ever watched the Olympics all the way through. I think I've just seen like one game or something. One or two games and have just...
Well, there's a lot. There's a lot, I think, that doesn't get televised or doesn't get, like, highlighted because it's boring. Okay, that was really judgy.
Well. And this year, of course, they are... When are they held? Every, like, 4 years or something? I don't even know that.
I forget. We were going to look it up, weren't we?
But anyway, the Olympics this year...
Let's look it up.
...are in Tokyo.
I don't even know.
2020 Olympics.
Held every 4 years. The Winter and Summer Games were once held during the same year. The international... Oh, okay. So they do stagger them now.
Every 4 years.
Okay. So then in 2 more years, we'll have the winter, I guess.
Okay.
And I have
so
no idea. Yeah.
That's why it's okay for them to still call it the 2020 Olympics. Because that's what they're still calling them.
Oh.
Okay. So
That's weird.
What have you got for us?
What have you got for us, Johnny? So we were thinking about weird events that are held or have been held that we could think of off the top of our head. An easy one is curling, which I'm sure if you know more about it.
And that is
totally
one that I've seen.
Yeah, it's still going, right? Well, I mean, that's winter. This is summer, but...
Yeah, so basically, I mean, I think it's a Canadian sport, right? Did you look it up?
No,
Anyway,
because
so
it wasn't on the list of ones that had been, like, removed or...
So you're scooting a stone with a handle, or you're sliding a stone with a handle across the ice while people sweep in front of it to try to increase the drift of it, the slide of it? I don't know.
Sure.
But I watched some with my dad, I think, and it was... I may offend some people, but it was incredibly boring.
We're going to lose any curling subscribers we have today.
Please don't unsubscribe.
We should be safe with the others because they're
It's not a hateful
discontinued.
comment. It's just it was boring for me to watch.
I think for many others.
There was an audience, but maybe it was just
it's like
because
their
it's
friends
Olympics.
and family members, or it's like people from whoever they're from.
Hey, I know that guy.
It's like the only country or the only sport their country is in or something. Not really, obviously not Canada. Canada's big in the winter sports, but all right.
Do you think there's a Mexican curling team?
No.
That's awfully judgy.
You asked the question. You're as judgy as I am.
So what
the other one I thought was kind of funny, even though they're clearly athletic, is the trampoline. I didn't know that was a thing. And I saw
it's not aerobics. What the hell am I thinking? Gymnastics, yeah. What is aerobics?
Jane Fonda from the 80s. I don't know. Richard Simmons.
Oh,
right?
okay, yeah.
So let me just show you what happened. So of course, since I watched a couple, they're
pretty crazy.
They're popping up. Let's see, trampoline fail.
I mean, how high do you think they're jumping? Like,
is this the guy?
10 meters?
No.
They get real high up.
Olympics, you dolt.
Well, you did type trampoline fails, to be fair. I like listening to them flip.
Oh, he fell through.
Holy shit.
I think the commentator actually said sheesh.
His foot blasted through the trampoline. I love listening to them spin, though. Jeez.
He just got degloved by that spring. That thing we were talking about earlier. Oh, good. We get another.
No. Oh, Oh, Menards. Oh, okay. I thought he punctured the trampoline. Okay. So he stuck his leg through where the springs are at.
Yeah. When I first saw it, I thought it punctured, and I thought they got to give him a do-over, right? But then when I saw it, I was like, no, that was all him.
He got gonad slapped by the edge of the trampoline. Ooh.
He just looks so pitiful, just laying there like, ugh.
I do like listening to them spin, though. It's like...
The spin? Or you mean the spring sound?
No,
like,
the spins.
Really? They make noise?
Yeah, when he was doing spins. Unless it was just the springs.
I think
it could be the covers, huh?
Yeah.
The spring covers.
Yeah. But it still sounds pretty cool. But that was bad, you know. He can't be happy about that one.
It is a dangerous sport.
As we've seen in many a trampoline fail video in just a backyard.
Yeah. And the funny thing about that is that backyard trampolines often don't have that cover, that spring cover that is necessary for the safety of children.
Yeah.
I think ours like wore out and we threw it away. But then you have these, exposed springs that you can get your head or something trapped in between as the rest of your body falls over the edge. I think a lot of people break their necks that way.
Oh, you just brought the tone of this down quite a bit. Let's try to get it back up.
I think it's why not a lot of people have trampolines anymore, like the big ones.
I feel like because homeowners insurance companies do not cover them. They will not cover them. Or they probably are like, we won't insure you. Like when I tried to I did insure the pickup, the Tacoma, and they said, does it have a camper shell? Because we won't insure it. And that was just AAA. I think because visibility, or they come off. Like we had one where we had lambs in the back of our little Chevy S10, and I think the camper shell, I don't know if you could bolt it, but it's very heavy, but I think my mom had to brake suddenly to avoid hitting someone on 19th Avenue in San Francisco, and it came off. The lambs were okay, but it was and then I almost hit someone backing out of a grocery store parking lot because you can't see. You can't use your rearview mirror because you have this big thing.
Yeah.
And then another window in the back. There might be other reasons, but they were like, we won't. AAA said we won't insure.
Crazy.
And I bet you that trampolines are,
what?
A reason for people not getting insured.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. And especially when you have, children who are often little daredevils. It's like, I have an idea. Let's jump off the roof onto the trampoline.
Yeah.
And then they, miss.
Maimed for life.
Yeah. Or do what that guy did and slide their leg through.
And can't have children of their own. Ever.
Yeah. So...
Yeah. All right, so we were going to maybe talk about events that we thought were weird, and I just happened to come across, many that were, not many, a few that were discontinued. But there are some on my list, I think, that are still going, or one. So the first one kind of shocked me, just because on the face of it, it defies the definition that's, of the word that's in the title. Solo Synchronized Swimming. So that's a contradiction in terms. Solo synchronized swimming. Yeah. Unless you're talking about synchronizing your own limbs.
So what are you in sync with? Dance or
yourself.
Music? Are you synced with
maybe
music
that's
or
what
something?
they meant, but it's the event is clearly meant to be 2 or more people because that's what it is now. So in 1984, 1988, and 1992, they had it. I don't know where those games took place, but the definition of synchronize is cause to occur or operate at the same time or rate, or occur at the same time or rate. Yeah.
Well,
so
I mean, technically, could you synchronize swim to music?
Yeah, that's what they do.
Oh,
so
okay.
I guess that could be.
So it is synchronized,
but
technically.
It's so stupid. It's basically just dancing in the water. I mean, it's already kind of stupid.
Damn, you are really narrowing our...
Are you going to disagree with me? How many synchronized swimmers do you think are subscribed to this?
I don't know.
Okay. Comment if you're a synchronized swimmer. Actually, don't. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to get hate. But, don't you think that the people who do it are this is kind of dumb, but, I'll take it if it's what's getting me to the Olympics?
I don't really know. I don't think I've ever watched it. But have you watched it?
First of all, they have nose plugs, so they look ridiculous. So I watched one yesterday because it just looked kind of interesting. So this couple does part of
It
their...
might be because they do a lot of remaining upside down in the water.
I get it, but it looks ridiculous. And I'm glad that this person who wrote this article agreed with me. It just looks stupid. Like, okay, sorry. It takes away from the majesty
I've
of
noticed a lot of article writers.
Oh yeah, I did not care for this person.
Snobby.
I didn't care for this person, but when they said that, I was like, yeah. So there was this couple, and they were kind of doing a routine, I think, to like a tango song, and they did part of the routine out of the water, and that part was really cool.
Does that count though?
Well, I think they can do like a little bit, or like their intro out of the water, and then they jumped into the water, and then after that, it was like all I see is a bunch of limbs flailing and kicking, and it was just like the first part was like dancing, and I was like, this is really cool, and they're clearly like muscled and agile, and he like holds her out over the water, and she's like at a 45 or steeper angle,
and then the other synchronized swimming teams are like, hey, this seems like
fish out of water.
This seems like not part of what we're supposed to be doing. Are they getting points for this? How does this work?
I'm pretty sure there's like a limit in the rules of how long you can be out of the water and when. And then, like, it's mostly in the water.
I would assume there are tons of rules.
Just feels kind of silly. Like, they're clearly athletic. I am not denying that. But I just think it looks kind of silly.
So, solo synchronized swimming has
for 3 Olympic Games.
Banned.
Okay, I would say discontinued.
Discontinued.
Banned because it was so offensive for dictionary readers. The next one reminds me of, like... when one of my bosses was talking about a poodle he had that liked to dive down to the bottom of their pool and like fetch things. This event was called Plunge for Distance.
Plunge for distance.
It was probably in England, and they'd say plunge for distance. In 1904, it was in St. Louis. Sorry, St. Louis. However you say it. Well, which St. Louis, you fuck? Anyway, 1904.
How many St. Louis's are there?
I think there's multiple. Let's just look it up.
You're probably right, actually.
St. Louis, Missouri. Maybe that's the only one. St. Louis, Missouri. I guess it must be that. Really? They had... Okay. Well, I guess when they have them in America, they like have them in all kinds of... Like when they have the World Cup, they do like the matches like all throughout the country. And if you have a country like the States, it's a lot. It's big. Competitors had to dive in the pool and see how far they could drift. Drift? Don't you mean dive? Underwater until they surfaced, up to a maximum of a minute later. All 5 contestants were from America, and the event was won by William Dickey with a distance of 62.5 feet. So
Damn, Dickey. Damn, Dickey, you went deep.
But I just think, like, do they throw rings to the bottom of the pool to, like, motivate them to have something to chase? Or
they're not a dog, they're people.
That's just what I pictured. And then the image was this guy in this old-timey swimsuit. It was like a black and white
like
image.
Like a full-body thing?
Let's see. Yeah.
I think I saw it.
And it, like, pasted to his butt, and it was like he had briefs underneath, but it just was, like, hungry bum syndrome.
I've got a bit of hungry bum. Go to Google Images.
Oh, no, hold on.
Freakazoid.
No, I wanted to find the exact one. Don't you call me a freak. Oops.
No, like,
see this one.
type it into Google Images,
Shut
not
your
Google.
hole. This guy. Sexy.
Huh.
Yeah.
He's got a, okay, I don't want to be, like, rude.
Just say it.
He's got kind of a stump of a torso. Mm-hmm. He's built like he should maybe be, like, cutting trees or something.
Yeah.
Maybe not doing... Although maybe his big body helps him sink.
That's true.
Quick.
Like a stone. Well, just think about, like, the bodies of, like, weight lifters back then. Like
he's
the
not
circus strongmen.
But he's a diver.
I'm just saying, the way that people were built, or I think that they would get fit, was so different. Like, used to have a lot more, like, barrel-chested or, like, full-chested, but not as, like, defined and sculpted and lean. You know, they were more, like... I don't know if it was the...
Just building mass.
Physiology that evolved over time, or the advent of different machines to sculpt, you know.
But that was only like, what, 80 years ago?
1904.
I don't know that we changed that much.
1904? Yeah. I just mean then in the way that they get fit and they eat and they sculpt, you know? Like they weren't doing yoga back then. I don't know. So do you have any? Do you want to take turns?
No.
Oh, all right. Well.
No, you go for it.
Okay. This one is still going, I think. Or very recently was. I think it was like 2019 or something. 3,000 meter steeplechase. Do you know what steeplechase is?
No.
So I think it comes from, I think this was real and not like a weird urban legend myth thing. I think it was in England. They have a lot of steeples. So they would use steeples as markers for like, we're going to start here and we're going to race to like that steeple, like St. Paul's,
okay.
whatever.
Because you can see them.
Right. Exactly. So this event does not involve any steeples. But what it looks like is a horse race. Like in English, like, do they have hurdles and stuff in the Kentucky Derby?
I don't think so.
So I watched one, and it involves the first quote unquote hurdle or jump is like a wall that they have to kind of vault, like jump up on, and then jump over or into a little pool of water. Like it's only like.
And this is part of the steeplechase. I'm confused.
Oh, I'll show you.
It's a run from here to there, and plus you have to jump over a thing into a thing.
So it's like 3,000 meters or whatever. It's a track, but they have where is it? I just watched one.
I just watched one.
Oh, this is the one I'm gonna kill you. And then they all do their cool shots at the camera.
Uh-huh.
And that person was going crazy. Okay. It's so weird. Like, why?
So they sprint and then jump a thing.
Into water.
Why?
I don't know. That's why do you ever watch the horse races where they jump over a hedge and there's like a water pool on the other side of it? It's like that. Like, what are we, horses? And then the rest, there's like 3 hurdles. So there's that weird wall water thing. And then there's like 3 or 4 hurdles. And they do that like 3 times, I guess, to make it, because it's the 3,000 meter. Like, why? The hurdles I get. Like when you have ones that it's just like fast, short increment hurdles. But this, it's like, it's such a long track. Why do you need hurdles? And definitely, why do you need a wall?
They're spaced so far apart. It's pretty strange.
It's like you're not showcasing their like jumping skills by having, I guess when they are toward the end of the race and they're tired, it makes more sense. Like it's more of a challenge. But if you're not having them in like shorter intervals, I don't get it. And then this dumb wall. So now I have wet shoes and I have to run for.
What you're not hearing is.
So annoying. So here,
and they're wet socks.
We'll just get to like the photo finish or whatever.
That's a good point.
Oh.
Very strange.
Yeah.
Are they wearing socks too? You know they're wearing
Probably.
socks, otherwise they'd be chafing.
So we got the wall again.
That is very odd.
And God forbid, I mean, if you trip, you're just done.
Is this the Tokyo Olympics?
Yeah.
Weird. So it's still going on for some strange reason. Did you look up the reason for it?
I don't know if this guy, I can't tell. It's like a fucking photo finish. I think it might have been the guy on the left, but.
Did you look up the reason for them having the pool?
No, because I just thought, whatever reason, it's not good. There's no point.
Okay.
But, it just made me think of horsies, like.
I don't know.
Why?
I haven't ever watched horses jump.
Okay. Well, anyway, it's.
But I believe you.
So that was silly. So that's still going on. So this one, I think you'll be happy to know, is not still going. Live pigeon shooting. This person was really like the person who wrote the article, one of the articles I read, but like the main one that I kind of relied on. Wow. They were a very like woke, like social justice warrior, because everything they made fun of because it was like inhumane or whatever. Like, you got to consider the time. 1900 in Paris.
So the article I saw when I was looking at some of this stuff was some kind of annoying what do you call him, a journalist, article writer?
Yeah, I don't
that
know.
was making fun of surfing and skateboarding and BMX being in, and they were like, why not just have some, I forget what they call it, dude-centric games where you just smoke dope all day. It's like, what, man?
It was very like,
fuck off.
I don't know if you call that woke
fit
or just
to do all that shit.
Yeah. Well, that's different than like pigeon shooting. Okay.
Yeah.
So Paris in 1900, this person made fun of the Paris 1900 games because they had a lot of weird shit. So the goal, as you might have guessed, is kill as many pigeons as possible. I mean, with a gun.
That's rough.
Contestants were eliminated if they missed 2 pigeons in a row. The event was won by Belgium's Leon de London, who shot 21 By the end of the event, more than 300 mangled pigeons were dead on the field. So yeah, it seems a bit wasteful, but I think especially in Paris, pigeons are probably like
there's no shortage
they're a
of
real
pigeons.
pest. Yeah, it's but they probably just don't go gather them out from the streets of Paris and go, you're going to be in this. I don't know, maybe they do, but I mean, if they like breed them specially for this, I mean, so this is, discontinued, but
I mean,
it kind of made me sad. I was like, what are you doing? Like, people aren't eating those pigeons.
No. Well, it depends on what they're shooting them with, too. If they're just destroying their bodies completely, or that's messed up.
Yeah. So that was not very funny. I probably should have just left that out. Oh yeah, I already covered that. You pulled some stuff up from your articles, from your research.
Yeah. So I just looked up some discontinued sports, and I just made a list of them.
As you would.
It's not really very interesting at all.
Well,
but
just tell me what
see.
it is, because it might cross over with some of the rest of mine.
So they discontinued croquet.
Did they?
Which is, if you don't know, it's that sport where you stick little metal hoops into the ground and you have like a mallet and you hit a ball through the hoop holes. Yeah. So they discontinued that, but golf is back in the Olympics. And
I feel like this is leading to a hot take.
Golf, I guess.
Are you really comparing croquet to golf?
I mean, golf obviously takes more to hit it further.
Nice recovery.
But I mean, you're still hitting a ball through a thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're all kind of...
I guess I have a bias because croquet, I just think of stupid tea parties. I mean, I think I went to like a kid's party where they had croquet and I was like, what is this shit? Like, even as a kid, I was like, can we just play like baseball or anything? Okay. I said, can we play golf? I'm just kidding.
They discontinued cricket. Which
really?
Is, if you don't know, is basically like baseball, right? But with a flat...
Yeah.
With a flattened bat.
That is kind of crazy because why would they do that? Because they still have, I think they still have like baseball and basketball and all those sports. And cricket is huge, especially in like India, Pakistan, England, Australia.
Yeah.
It's huge.
They might bring it back. I don't know.
That's weird. I would love to know the reason for that. I don't watch it myself, but.
Some other sport called jeu de paume.
Oh, I think I got that. Maybe not.
I wrote next to it, basically tennis, question mark.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't get that one.
It's a tennis-like looking sport.
Oh, weird.
Yes, I don't know if they canceled. I don't know if they discontinued tennis.
Probably not. It does seem weird to me that you have all these sports that are like played throughout the year outside the Olympics, and then you also have them in the. It seems weird to me. Like, does someone in the NBA, do they value the Olympic title as much as they value whatever the NBA, title is?
Yeah, I don't...
They play, but I feel like it's not highlighted, or I don't know, maybe it's just not like on YouTube. And we don't have like TV channels, we just have like a Fire Stick. So we just watch basically like internet TV. But I don't know, like, do people watch Olympic basketball, baseball? Do they have baseball? I don't know.
I think baseball and basketball are back on the Olympics now.
Like, why do they come off and why do they come back on? It's just weird to have those in addition to, like their regular league.
Yeah, it probably would have been good for us to know a little more about the Olympics.
But that's not the kind of podcast we are. So moving on.
Well, maybe it depends on how much time they have for each game and how much space they have, and I have no idea.
Okay.
I probably shouldn't be talking at all about
Moving on then. Moving on smoothly.
Pelota?
Pelota? That's like the Spanish word for ball, I think.
So it's basically that game where you have like a basket on a stick, that lacrosse? You sling. No, not lacrosse. That's another one that was discontinued. But
Weird.
This one, it's like this. Mm-hmm. It's like I
think I can
like
kind
a crescent type thing where you sling the ball.
Yes. Okay.
And I mean,
they discontinued that?
Yeah, and supposedly it was like a really high-paced sport. So I don't know why they would.
There might be like reasons, like financial reasons, or.
Sorry, everyone, that we don't have reasons.
No, well, I figured we'd like be picking ones that were like funny. Like there's an obvious reason they're discontinued because, there's a very small group of people that does them, or they just don't make sense, or they're stupid.
Well, I think that's what you did, but my notes are just a list of things that got canceled, like Tug of War got canceled.
I got that one. I can't for the life of me understand why they would cancel Tug of War.
No, it's like one of the basic... Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think one-on-one Tug of War is kind of a cool...
Although I assumed it was a group because the image in the article I read showed a group.
They probably do teams.
It would make sense to have.
I think that would be a cool Olympic sport to keep.
Yeah.
And then...
It'd be in there with like martial arts.
And then at the end, you get, the audience gets to watch some person face down in the mud.
I feel like they wouldn't want that for the Olympics because it would kind of undermine like the dignity of like and the athleticism of the Olympic game. Like they just have like a dumb pool of water or just like a sandbox. I don't know. But that'd still be funny. Face full of sand. What would they have?
That'd be worse.
No, they'd have like a padded cushion and you'd be like, oh, because you'd want to see some guy with his face in the mud. That's like the point of Tug of War.
It kind of is.
So I see why they discontinued it. What else you got?
Motorboating.
No way.
Yeah,
Shut up.
Not like boobs, but like motorboating. That's so
disappointing.
Like with boats.
Yeah, I figured. After you told me it wasn't boobs, I figured it was boats with motors.
Yeah. It's funny because all these other things on my list are basically ball and stick games. And then there's just like motorboating at the end.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What do you know what year it was discontinued? All right. I'll cut that question. Interesting. I bet there's just some dumb reasons for some of these, like, well, not dumb, but like actually just valid. Logistically, it's too hard to put together.
Yeah, maybe they didn't have like a big lake, to do motorboating in Tokyo.
Yeah, or they didn't have enough like personnel to, be like lifeguards or rescue people, or the expense is just, especially with like COVID times. I bet that or like cricket, like there's probably a lot of shit that goes into the regulations of the pitch and all that shit. Like maybe they just can't, depending on what country it's in, they can't bring those up to code,
But that sucks for the people practicing in those things. Like, I'm getting ready for the Olympics. They discontinued my sport. Oh,
they have to know in time for qualifying. Yeah, that would suck though, because if you but I feel like cricketers are going to be people who are playing professionally year round or whenever the cricket season is. So they're not just training for the Olympics. Whereas a lot of these events are like just Olympics.
Yeah, like solo synchronized.
They're not just Olympics, but the Olympics is like the pinnacle event, Motorboating
though, like that does not seem like it belongs there at all, because I always thought the Olympics were physical.
Yeah.
I would get like rowboating.
Right.
And something that requires your body to be moving.
Your body.
So that's my dumb list that I didn't do any research on.
Don't do that, because if you just talk like confidently, then people like think like, oh yeah, like
I don't know if that's true, but okay.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say, I don't do that. I don't speak confidently. So modern pentathlon. Pentathlon? I don't know if they spelled that wrong. Based upon the military requirements for good cavalrymen, includes swimming, fencing, show jumping, like with a horse, long distance running, and pistol shooting. So they have the picture, they have this girl in like Olympic, short shorts, like kind of, spandexy, just very like obviously streamlined outfit, tank top, whatever. And then she's like got this glove and she's just like holding a pistol or something and shooting. And it's like what Seinfeld makes fun of, like cross country skiing and shooting a gun, Yeah. Why? I think they still do it. And it kind of makes sense, but it's almost like it should be its own competition apart from the Olympics.
It's all a little too much going on at once. Fencing, swimming, show jumping, long distance running, pistol shooting. So are they doing all of this like back to back, or is it
let's see,
spaced out? Or pentathlon makes me think that it's a back to back thing, like you jump off that horse into the water
It can't be because you have to suit up like it looks like they're English style riding. You have to suit up for your
So you just have
riding.
to be one person that's fit in all those fields.
Right.
That's
it
so
must
weird.
be the most expensive sport to train for. You know?
Yeah.
Let's see. Laser run. It alternates 4 legs of laser pistol shooting, followed. Oh my god. Oh. I mean, I bet in ancient Greece it like made sense whatever they picked because they were all related or like things that would like come in handy. Yeah, originally the competition took place over 4 or 5 days. In 1996, a 1-day format was adopted in an effort to be more audience friendly. Modern pentathlon has had to justify its inclusion. Yeah, I bet.
Has had to justify what's inclusion.
The pentathlon, like they have to fight to include it because people are like, this is ridiculous. Yeah, it's not really saying. So I don't know if that means it's still all in one day, but I don't think it's like you jump out of the pool and you jump onto a horse.
Yeah.
And you just slap a helmet on.
I'm gathering that from looking at the pictures because they're all in different outfits.
Yeah. That would
be cool,
funny though. Hold on. Now give me 2 hours to suit up and hydrate and then, get on my horsey and change into my jodhpurs or whatever they are. Yeah, and then I think it was the modern okay, so the German lady who got caught punching a horse because it wouldn't jump for the rider, that was in the pentathlon.
Punching a horse.
Yeah.
What an asshole.
Yeah. I mean, like, they're so extreme. So there was a post that went around that talked about, I have such a horrible memory. The kid, was it Carrie something? The kid who did the vault when she had like a sprained ankle. And she was like lauded as like this hero, this athletic, but I think like her career was over. And they were saying like, yeah, like it was so heroic, but then this post was saying like, her coaches were pushing her to, like, she was injured, her body was injured, and they were like, yeah, do it, you can do it. And it was just, so the stakes are so high, the pressure's so high.
The coaches were willing to break her body.
Yeah. And so definitely a horse, it's justifiable to someone like that to punch a horse who's not complying. You know, that's just, it's a bit like,
too much pressure.
Is this good for, but I mean, I do applaud and admire these people because their stamina, their discipline, but so much rides on it. And if you get a little injury and you don't qualify or whatever, and your career's over and you just like, that's what you've kind of been focusing on. I don't know. Seems like a bit much. This one, I think you'll like. 200-meter swimming obstacle race, Paris 1900 again. Swimmers had to climb up a pole, clamber over a row of boats, and swim under another row of boats. And the picture reminded me of, is it Wipeout? Is that what it's called?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think it's in any of the...
Dodging boats.
But the picture looked kind of modern, the one I saw. Oh my gosh, no way. Weirdest Olympic. That can't be the actual course. It's just like in an indoor pool.
Very strange. Oh, what's going on with her arms?
Oh, that's probably synchronized swimming.
Oh,
Solo Synchronized Swimming.
Oh, it's like looking at Jim Carrey when he does.
Yeah. Look
Jim
at how
Carrey's old
stupid this
stand-up.
looks. It's just a bunch of oh, for fuck's sake. It's just a bunch of, like, they threw a bunch of pool noodles and mats into the pool and just said, like, swim around this.
It's a row of boats and, like, tables and shit in the water.
I don't think this one is actually, maybe that's, like, training. But
it's like a bouncy house.
Yeah, it's like Wipeout or, like, something at, like, a fun play place you would go to. So, anyway, I guess they don't have that
it'd be fun
anymore.
to watch, I guess.
Oh, this is okay, these two are my favorite. Walking. I don't know if they call it speed walking or just walking. You're not allowed to run. Competitors are required to maintain contact with the ground and straighten their front knee when the foot makes contact with the ground, keeping it straightened until the knee passes under the body. They can be given yellow or red cards for not sticking to the definition of walking.
I think that's probably speed walking.
Yeah, they just called it walking in the article. But if you watch them, they look ridiculous. Have you watched them?
Yeah,
I know it's horrible.
They made there was a Gumball that made fun of them. I think Walter, Gumball's dad, was...
Is his name Walter?
He was
Richard.
Richard, sorry. Yeah. He was like, it's an Olympic sport, and he's like speed walking, and he just looks... Yeah, he looks a little bit ridiculous.
Okay, that person just did like That is fucking running. I guess they're kind of bouncing themselves off the ground.
It's something to behold.
Yeah. Just, it's like a zombie horde, but
And
they're
like
very...
this guy watching the hips swivel.
Yeah. That is... Oh, this guy's... Oh, no, he's got a cramp. Oh, no. He's running. His
I got a
legs are
cramp.
bending. Oh, no. Like, I do feel for him. You are not going to catch up with that.
But it's also kind of
Oh,
hilarious.
he got a yellow card. Look at him. But look at, like, yeah, their hips.
Oh, it's so weird looking.
And a lot of them look like they're running. So these are less funny because they kind of just look like they're jogging. But they're keeping their legs straight, I guess, when they hit the ground. But the hip action, I mean, this guy... Yeah, I look good. I look good in these short shorts.
What a strange spectacle. Yeah, look
Anyway.
up here. Look up Richard real quick. Richard Watterson Speed Walk, if you can find it. The Amazing World of Gumball.
This one?
I think that might be it, yeah. Let's walk. Race walk. See, look at him.
his hips.
Yeah. It's well, it's an Olympic event, you know.
That's pretty funny.
And his hips are just bouncing.
And undulating because he's fat.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. So that's my second favorite.
That's a weird one.
First favorite is maybe Poodle Clipping. Again, Paris 1900.
Oh, Paris.
But actually,
what the fuck are you doing?
Oh no, this is so disappointing. It was only a test event, meaning that it didn't have full status, and they were just trying it out to see if it didn't make the cut.
Poodle clipping?
Competitors had to clip the fur off as many poodles as they could in 2 hours. Avril Lefoule won the gold with a total of 17 clipped poodles in 1900. And I was thinking, I would be quite frightened if I was a poodle in this event. Because I assume they're using like...
Scissors?
Yeah.
They're called scissors.
I was just giving you a visual. Because even with electric...
our listeners can't see.
Even with electrics, like you can cut them. So I hope there was a rule like you can't have blood on your shears or you can't cut them because, I don't know, I'd be frightened.
That's a weird one too.
Yeah.
These are all very strange
17
indeed.
poodles in 2 hours. This one is weird.
What the hell?
I thought this one makes more sense than any of these to keep in the Olympics. Rope climbing.
Huh.
In 1896, they had it in Athens. Male competitors had to climb a 46-foot high vertical rope using just their hands. No use of legs was allowed. Like, that's fucking...
That's crazy.
Strength.
Yeah.
Let's see. They also had it in 1906, 1924, and 1932. They were scored for their style and speed. What would that entail? What would style, like hip swingage, like spinning around the rope, like doing like dancey strippery type moves? Like what? Why was your style
Sliding down the rope and then climbing back up the rope?
Yeah. What kind of style? Oh, maybe it means like the technique you're using, but that's very different than style.
Probably just not looking like a frantic fool.
Yeah, like like maybe if your legs are just straight down instead of like kicking
Like
out.
how you and I would look? Yeah, not that.
You're probably right. Okay. Because otherwise the only technique is like, I imagine, hand over hand.
Or maybe doing like a swinging around in front of the rope.
Uh-huh.
Having
Yeah.
having the rope behind you or something.
Yeah. I don't know. But I don't think we're going to have video of it because the latest one it was done in was 1932.
Probably not.
So anyway.
Well, bummer.
Yeah, it is a bummer. So I just was like maybe it's not fancy enough because it's not involved enough and maybe it was really short.
Yeah.
Like why keep that in? That's like a nice simple, like you got to be strong and you got to be slim probably to pull yourself up.
It is interesting to hear about how well they've like documented everything about the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
Like when it started and the people that were involved in the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
It goes all the way back to like what is it? 776 BC in Olympia. And they've got names and shit and things that people have achieved.
Because they were chiseled in stone and that doesn't wash away.
It's pretty wild.
Is that it?
That's it.
That is pretty wild. Okay, so here's one more since you got Tug of War. I already.
Sorry, I don't have more to add.
That's okay. Lacan or Laken, I don't know. It's LA space CANNE. So it's similar to fencing, but not. In 1924 in Paris? Huh.
Yeah.
It's a French form of martial arts featuring athletes trying to land blows on each other with big sticks, with points scored for strikes made. I mean, this just sounds like something that, like, kids played, and then they just made it, you know.
It seems just like fencing.
Yes.
Okay.
So I guess that explains why it's not
They
here
probably
anymore.
canceled it because, you know, anybody who's into this sword fighting competition
Nonsense?
should
Oh.
just join the fencers
Yeah.
and learn how to fence.
Yeah. But I think it's very technical. Like, you probably would take a long time to get up to speed. Well, not if you're doing it full time. So I missed one. This was one of my favorites as well. Pistol dueling. Can you imagine? Like, you're only going to be in one Olympics potentially, except disappointingly, no, because they had it in 1912 in Stockholm. Participants weren't actually firing at each other, but instead the men had to fire at mannequins dressed in frock coats. Dueling
What?
being the sport of gentlemen with targets painted on their chests.
They
So
could
you're
do
not
that
even-
now with paintballs.
But
Or
why do
something.
you call it dueling? It's not dueling. The cutout in the frock coat is not going to shoot back. Just call it target shooting.
But is it timed? So you have two competitors at the same time doing a timed thing.
That could be.
Then you could imagine that they're shooting at
You
each
could.
other, but
But it really takes, like, the thrill out of it. You
kind
know.
of like removing the mud from the tug of war.
Exactly.
You're just ruining it.
Why can't you just give them, like, full body gear and give them, like, paintballs or
You don't even need
maybe
gear
not
with a
rubber
paintball.
bullets,
You're
but
just gonna have a welt. Give them goggles.
yeah. That's what I guess, like, so they don't accidentally shoot each other in the head or something. But yeah, I feel like you could do anything because I feel like people would watch that more.
Yeah.
They'd watch that more than a lot of the events.
Especially Americans.
Yeah. Yeah. Bring it back. Start a petition. Somebody else do it, and then I'll sign it. Are you going to do it? Will you do it?
I'll sign it.
All right. So somebody start that. We are on board. You got 2 people right here on board for the shooty shoot 'em up event. That's what it'll be called.
I don't like that name.
Oh, well, what would you call it?
What did they call it? Dueling?
Yeah,
Pistol
pistol
dueling?
dueling.
I think that's a cooler name. I'm
Well,
sorry.
what if it's not pistols? Paintball dueling? That doesn't sound...
Gun dueling? Firearm dueling? Is a paintball gun a fire? No, it's
Just
not.
call it dueling. Maybe just call it dueling. Except it's not like sword play, sword fighting.
I think we're
I like
spending
mine.
too much time
I like
on
mine.
this.
Shooty shoot 'em up. Yeah. Do you have anything to add?
But you're not shoot 'em upping anything. You're shoot 'em upping one other person.
Oh! You're shooting him up.
No, it looks like you have some other things there, though.
No, because I forgot that one, so I had to go back to it. I already did all that. Yeah. Ew.
No, I don't have anything else.
Okay. Cool. Let us know how we've offended you and the sport that you love or have trained for all your life, and we will subsequently ignore it.
And thanks for listening.
Yeah, indeed. Bye.
Bye-bye.